only 1 hour delayed. That's what we got today. It's better than yesterday because there we were almost 2.5 hours behind. The whole event, changing of hardware, it takes ages. But we are here. The Brazil Game Cup, $25,000 on the line. Pain Gaming versus Keed. Keed, the absolute surprise, and Pain, the old CNB lineup, pretty much. The new CNB is already out of the tournament. These two, they are in the winner bracket, and this is pretty much the last game of the winner bracket. And in the lower bracket, there's Isurus and Not Today waiting, which is kind of unfortunate because the next game we're gonna see after this best of 3 is gonna be either Argentina or Peru out. Here, one of the Brazilian teams is going down in the loser bracket and is gonna then fight up against either Argentina or Peru. Who's that gonna be? We're gonna see. Either way, we have Michael Ors in Skype, plus me, and we are HeflaTV, and now we go.
Alright, so we got ourselves a draft. First of all, before any of that, the part where the girls came out holding those like signs for the semifinals was like the funniest thing I've seen all day, since I haven't seen that in anything but like boxing or martial arts in some form. But apparently we're doing that in Dota now, so that's pretty interesting. Pain Gaming, they're gonna open up pretty vanilla. Skywrath Mage, Centaur, Warrunner is, you know, pretty strong and pretty generic, lots of high damage. But Terrorblade, Legion Commander, two of the new additions to .82, I don't think I've seen them on the same team before.
Nope, not in this tournament, and not even before. Like, the fact is, in this tournament we had 2 Terrorblades, one won. I mean, one of them won, and the other one lost. We had 1 Legion Commander, he lost. Both of them in the same team, in the same game. We never had that before, so the Brazilians, they are coming up with some crazy shit here.
Yeah, and they are going to most likely play separate lanes. Legion Commander typically soloing a lane, usually off. Terrorblade needs a little bit of help. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Lich being picked up from Keystars, and then maybe they're going to run a dual lane mid, which is something that's becoming a little bit more popular, although I think just defensive tri-lane is probably the way to go. We are seeing Pain Gaming ban out the Dazzle, which is actually a pretty good hero with Legion and Terrorblade, just because they usually do want to get really low, and in the duels as well as for Sunder. So a handy hero to ban out, and then PA Elder Titan. So definitely Keystar is fearing the damage from Pain Gaming.
You know what the best scenario would be? Like, you get really low, you sunder someone, then Legion Commander comes in and duels him. That's like the perfect combination. If you could ever execute this through, that would be so hilarious to watch.
It doesn't really get much better than that. I mean, guaranteeing dual damage, however you do it, like however cute it is going to help your team so much. Like, it's not as amazing as the Terrorblade Dagon build, which is classic. You just go into the Ancients, drop low, and then you find someone, sunder them, and blast them. 100% win rate.
Yep. The funny part about Legion Commander at the moment, like, whenever he finds his way somehow in a draft, like, it turns out that the duels, they're not even mainly for damage purposes, gaining that damage. I mean, this is like a nice side effect, but it's just a lockdown of one target. I mean, you completely lock down one target, it's just hitting the Legion Commander, doing some damage, and of course the team can focus it. That's really good for those heroes that are like very mobile, or getting away, or casting certain spells that are very crucial. So if you get a support, for example, the Sand King, there's no Burrow Strike, no Sandstorm, no Epicenters, no nothing. The same goes for Skywrath Mage. Like, he can't do anything. Like, he will just die most likely in that duel unless somehow prevented. Either way, we have more picks to come. Witchdog and Dream Protector. This is interesting.
Yeah, 2 very, very defensive supports. I'm sure they're going to be prioritizing their healing. They definitely have the top objective of keeping the Terrorblade alive, and if Legion Commander gets into a duel with living armor, you're probably not going to win if you're a hero on Pain Gaming. So lots of healing from Keystars, but I actually do like it when you go a little bit more aggressively with the Legion Commander. As you said, because duel is a pretty hefty lockdown, you could put a lot of damage into the enemy with your supports while that's happening. That's why we see Legion Commander Skywrath Mage being a big combination, because you duel and then Mystic Flare. Witch Doctor, Treant Protector can't really do that much. Maybe Death Ward duel is a combo, possibly, but it's pretty weak. And Keystars, their damage outside of their cores is going to be extremely low.
Absolutely, and well, for Pain, with the Faceless Void now, we just got a new combo. That means we have a Chronosphere into Mystic Flare, Chronosphere into Epicenter, like 2 pretty nice combinations. Let's see how this is, where this is going. The Dream Protector, I definitely like that one, simply for the fact that, I mean, with Terrorblade, a farm Terrorblade, you have some counter push with the Legion Commander. you have some nice, say it counter push, and I forgot how it was called. Overwhelming odds was this one press attack, the other one. I always mix them up because I don't know.
New hero.
Like, yeah, no, it's not new hero. It's like overwhelming odds. It's like I don't want to
You
install
expect
buff
them to be
now.
switched? It would make sense if they're switched.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's my point. Like I always remember them because they make somehow sense. But like press to attack, that is sort of like what I expect from the first ability. You know,
Yeah.
you throw something into many enemies and you gain like this battle cry sort of thing. You're faster and whatnot. But that would be for me like the
and
press
then
to
it's like
attack.
the other one. You're facing overwhelming odds, so you gotta like pump yourself up and
Exactly,
get healed and
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, I
could
like
buy
that we are both on the same page on this one. Good.
Yeah,
I'm
Legion
not the
Commander
only
doesn't make
one.
any sense. Ice Frog's got to get on this shit and fix it, because millions of Dota players are being alienated across the world.
No, but what I wanted to say originally is the Dream Protector will protect towers, obviously, with Legion Commander and now the Razor as well. Of course, on top of that, even the Witch Doctor, they have quite some counter push, so they can actually preserve their towers, which gives, of course, more time to the Terror Plate to farm up. Maybe the Legion Commander is then in mid game a bit active, gathering here and there some dual damage. Like getting the Faceless Void, for example, would be quite nice, so you don't have to deal with the Chronosphere. Like even if the Legion Commander loses, or like if the duel is not finished with a winner, then that is still good news because you still have time to just nuke him. But of course you have to. So far there's no silence on Keith's side. That's kind of bad news for the Faceless Void. So BKB on him is definitely something that has to come.
Yeah,
On the
and
Void, I mean.
Pain, right now, the best pick for them, if they are not too concerned with their lanes, is going to be the Ancient Apparition. Like, you're dealing with Treant Protector healing, Witch Doctor healing, Press the Attack, and Sunder. If you land that Ice Blast, then Keystars are going to lose so much of their durability, and it would force Sanking Skywrath Mage to go into, or one of those three heroes to go into a core role, but I think, putting Skywrath Mage over towards mid is just so powerful when you consider how much Ancient Apparition can actually contribute to the Pain Gaming side, but it is going to be a Nature's Prophet, so it looks like they're just going to take it a little bit slower. They are going to go pretty much all in on the Faceless Void plan and try to take this one a little bit late. They have a lot more explosive damage, though, Pain, so I expect them to be, taking the fight to Keystars more so than Keystars are going to be taking the fight to Pain.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just pressing the button with our new little transition thingy. Oh, I absolutely love it. It's just golden. It's just golden. Either way, yeah, Nature's Prophet is the last one. And to be honest, I mean, when it comes to like old heroes, things we know already, Pain Gaming is it's a solid draft. It's balanced. On the other side, it's more, experimental. Things of old times, things of new times. Let's see if they get it all together. I think both drafts can win in late game and before. So let's see where this is going. It's definitely going to be a very interesting match. But as usual, they have TeamSpeak problems. That is something that is cursed on this tournament, like
Classic.
all tournament.
So, K-Star's lineup, Pain's lineup, who do you think is having an advantage just by heroes alone? And there's no I don't know answer. You have to choose one.
So you just want me to tell like which draft I prefer?
Yes.
It's actually pretty simple. Like Pain earlier on till mid game. If this really goes long, Keith, no doubt.
Okay. I think I'm more into the Pain lineup. I feel like K-Stars are just way too defensive with their supports, and when you have defensive supports, you can't really do much of anything, especially when you compare that to Sand King, Skywrath Mage, which are two extremely aggressive supports, or potentially aggressive supports. So I'm all aboard the Pain train in this one, and Keystars, if they get their early game down somehow, then they'll be fine, but I don't really see that happening.
Yeah. Either way, we're going to introduce the teams really fast while they fix their TeamSpeak. We have 40R here on the Faceless Void. We have King RD playing the Nature's Prophet, Baga on the Doodoo hero, Ned playing the Skywrath Mage, and the new one in the new old team, if you want to call it like this. I mean, since Pain is the old CNB, but yeah, Krantix D is the one who joined Pain and made, like, pretty much supplemented the old CNB roster to make the new team up. So he's on the Centaur Warner, and let's see what we got on the Radiant side.
On the Keystars side, we got Tavo playing the Legion Commander. I expect to be going towards the offlane. YCS is going to be handling the Razor, most likely mid. Terrorblade, I'm assuming going to call him Funky because that looks like something that his name might be called, is going to be playing on Terrorblade. Witch Doctor is being played by Gambling, and that leaves Bardo on the Treant Protector. The lanes, I'm assuming, is just going to be Razor mid, Legion off, and then a defensive tri-lane. With these heroes, they can't really get away with much else.
Yeah. So, what did you just say? I mean, that is Razor mid, you said?
Probably.
And then Legion Commander offline with the Terrorplate safe laning with 2 supports?
Yeah.
Yep, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I like the Legion Commander offline actually. Like, I like the Soul Ring build, to be honest. I play it myself, but sometimes he's still getting shut down. We must not forget that Pain has quite some potent stuns. I mean, we have a Slow and a Scarab Mage, we have a stun, we have the Burrow Strike, we have the Bashes of the Faceless Void, and of course the Hoof Stomp, and we have of course the Global Presence of the Fury, and he can come in and make this even easier setup with a level 1 Sprouted value point in it. The Nature's Prophet is probably gonna end up here jungling, I guess.
For Pain? Possibly. I mean, they do need someone to go towards the mid lane and be really secure. Faceless Void, Skywrath Mage, I've seen dual lane mid lanes before. But yeah, Nature's Prophet, Centaur, War Runner, Faceless Void, the 3 cores from Pain are not typically ones to go towards the mid lane at all. Though they do know that the matchup is going to be against Razor, so I don't really know if the mid lane's going to be great.
Wait, it's King RD. So King RD mid. That's a safe lane Void. We have Grand XD on the offline, Baga Net supporting obviously, and the tri lane the Void. So it's a farming Void with an Nature's Prophet mid.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the best way to go unless they really throw a curveball, which is possible, but up against Razor, it's not really something you want to be doing. Nature's Prophet mid lane is perfectly average. Like, he's not that strong. He's most likely going to do okay and maybe not going to die, but he will probably have a little bit of trouble versus the Razor, especially when he's battling up against a Razor with living armor that's going to be helping him out. So Nature's Prophet is probably going to be, I want to say, going for the null build, and then we'll try to participate in all the lanes except for mid, more so than he is in the mid lane.
Yeah, I'm just writing something.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have more delays on top of this one, so
I can't come up with Spanish. Never mind that. Okay, I'm deleting this one. No, I just wanted to write something with Ringo, but no. Like we're gonna write that in the Isurus game. If there are any delays, then I'm gonna write this for sure.
English only, because once we say any sort of non-English thing, then people are like, oh, they speak this, and then they'll have expectations, and that's not good.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, I just see the Grand SV is actually answering some people where this hut is from, and this is the Outworld Destroyer, or
Devour.
nowadays it's called Devour.
Obsidian Destroyer, right?
Obsidian? Wait, isn't it out? Nate, how is it called? Obsidian Destroyer, Outworld Destroyer?
Outworld
Obsidian
Devourer.
Destroyer.
Obsidian
It's the old, super old one, right?
Yeah, that's Dota 1.
Then it was.
Oh, I don't remember what it was in between.
Then it was Outworld Destroyer first in Dota 2.
Yeah.
And then they
Devour.
changed it to Outworld Devour because of Blizzard.
Yeah.
That's the storyline, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's
Obsidian
all-
Destroyer is actually like a unit in Warcraft 3, so that was just
Exactly.
copy-pasted. So you can't have that. Although,
No, but I
so is
still
Witch
have
Doctor.
like the Outworld Destroyer in my head, and I'm not gonna call him Devour because it's like retarded. I have to say it like
but he
this.
like puts you into the imprison, and then he devours your intelligence.
You know what actually happened yesterday? I mean, since I'm still saying Windrunner,
Yeah.
because it just makes sense for me, and I just don't want to change to Wind Ranger. Like, Randus was so confused yesterday in the cast with me that he was saying something like Wind Cruncher. Just hilarious. Something in between.
Dude, I don't know if
The
I
Wind
told you,
Cruncher.
like, when they first changed it to Wind Ranger, I just started calling her Wind Ranger, just, like, as a joke. And then for the longest time, I couldn't stop, just because it was so easy to say.
Yeah, like, to be honest, the problem is, like, when I'm kind of absent-minded because I do something in the background while I'm casting. I mean, usually you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be manager and caster at the same time, but apparently, like, we don't have a choice. So,
Hey,
when
if
I'm-
you're paused, you can do whatever you want, and this game is mostly pauses.
Yeah,
and
true.
delays.
That's true. But we still have to talk and everything. So no, but like when I'm sort of absent-minded or distracted, then like I actually say sometimes Wind Ranger, and then after that I'm like, I'm cringing. Like,
What have I
"No,
done to
just-
myself?
I just did it. No, I can't. I must not do it. Either way, we started Everybody said G, and we have a smoke already coming out. It's a very early smoke. We don't have brown boots on the Treant Protector, so I don't like it already, because the brown boots protector is such an awesome combination right at the start, because he hits like a truck. 85 base damage, that is. Okay, 87 because of the 2 branches. Let's see what we find here. There is 40R, and he's ready to be killed. But of course he has a level 1 time walk. It's not far, but maybe far enough.
K-Stars, I don't really know what they're trying to do with this one, since the only stun that they have, they just used, and it didn't last for very long. So the only chance they're actually going to kill someone is if they caught them at an angle and used the Fog of War from the trees in order to ambush them right after they turned a corner. And that's really hard to do. So, I mean, ordinarily I do like it when teams try to go for that level 1 aggression and try to get something happening before the other team is really comfortable, but this is not the lineup to do it. Like, Paralyzing Cask is the only thing that's going to land. Leech Seed if it lands, Reflection if it lands, maybe they'll have enough, but not up against like a Sand King who will have the Burrow Strike out or a Faceless Foe to Time Walk. It's just impossible for them to get anything.
Yep, and Regeneration Rune is top. That means like everything they lost as in mana there from the casket is there, but pretty interesting that no one is getting the rune bottom. That's quite a loss, and instead of taking it, they destroy it with a Treant. Okay, I guess it's the right decision because Keat was already on the way, but still, like, losing the first bounty rune, it's so tasty for supports. Either way, we were right with our laning, and that's pretty much it. By the way, someone is just saying, like, they can't hear the caster in game, but like it's not a ticketed game, so I don't have my microphone on. But yeah, I guess we activate it for people that hack themselves in somehow.
I mean, yeah, mine's always on in general, so I don't really think it matters.
You're one of those guys who spams in the public games, like.
No. I turn it off once I remember in the pub, but I'm sure whenever a pub starts, I always say something, then see the little white speech bubble, and I'm like, oh shit, I have to turn off my mic.
Yep,
I don't spam.
Top, look at this. Legion Commander got a ton of damage here. He already has to use his self. Well, he still has 4 tangos, but Net, of course, doing a good job. That level 1 Arcane Bolt, it's just a nuisance. And every single Scarab Mage is playing it like this at the moment. But oh, he's going deep in. He doesn't have enough mana for a press attack, so you gotta be careful because, well, as soon as that slow is coming out and maybe some lucky bashes, he might find himself pretty fast dead.
Yeah, he's going to have to be really lucky with those bastards. Only level 1 time lock, and Tavo is going to be able to play aggressively for a little while. At a certain point, the damage of Ned as well as Baga is going to be too much of a threat, and Legion Commander is pretty much going to be reserved towards sitting back and occasionally casting overwhelming odds in order to get a little bit of chip damage as well as some CS. So I expect the Legion Commander to potentially be the first blood. It shouldn't really happen anywhere else except maybe on the mid lane where Nature's Prophet is vulnerable to this Razor. If the Centaur plays his cards right, he's going to be perfectly safe down in this bottom lane. So I expect this early stage to be rather passive, as actually, well, Centaur is going to go strong on bottom lane. Reflection and Leech Seed are both there. Green Text suddenly at 100 movement speed. The Metamorphosis is up, but Green Text is going to get away. That cask is pretty useless still.
Yeah.
They will put some damage on the tower, but that's about it.
I don't know why he wasn't there. Now he's going to eat even tower damage as well as the Treant Protector, so I'm not really sure what that is. In the mid we have the Razor. Oh, well, he has living armor on it, but yeah, instantly the Nature's Prophet is taking it off. It's just 3 instances on level 1, so you can really take it easily off, like a creep and 1-2 hero hits, and that's pretty much it. But still, with the first Metamorphosis, it's such a strong spell, that's why it's also on 140 cooldown. But yeah, oh, look at this. Look at this. Net is diving, but getting like 4 or 5 tower hits. In the end, it was not enough to get that first blood here on the Legion Commander. And I'm just gonna activate my mic really fast because nothing's happening. Yeah, right. There we have it.
Well, it is very much so worth it for the Skywrath Mage support in order to force out the enemy Legion all the way back to base. This is downtime where Legion Commander is going to have to walk all the way back to base and then spend money to teleport right back up, and all the while she's missing potential experience, potentially missing out on harassment, stuff like that. So Skywrath Mage trading his small amounts of restoration in order to gain the lane a substantial advantage is very nice, and just buying a little bit more time for 40R. This could be a quick hand of Midas for the Faceless Void if he wants to go for that type of build. Although I think if you just go for early game pressure, if you're Pain, then it'll benefit you a lot more.
Yep, absolutely, and well, let's see where this is going. I mean, top, that Legion Commander, he doesn't really find anything. I mean, he finds experience, that's it. No clarity interrupted at all, but Net, you gotta be careful, Net. If you go really too close, the Legion Commander just decides to give you a clap here and there. But overall, the Legion Commander is out of clarities right now, so at least at the end of the tunnel, there is the end of the harassment.
Yeah, so Legion's gonna have to, Scarith Mage is gonna have to back off in a little bit, and Tavo's getting a couple of CS here and there. Only 5-1 though. I think he's missing quite a few CS with overwhelming odds, which is not what you want to be doing because you don't exactly have mana to spare as Legion Commander. She doesn't have actually any sort of mana item yet. Magic Stick in order to counteract some of the Scarith harass, but that's about it. I'm still waiting for Pain to actually mobilize up on top and try to get something done. Their Sand has been kind of jungling with level 1 Sandstorm. That's really weak, so he's only level 2 right now, and Centaur over on mid, setting up for a stomp. YCS is going to try to go strong versus King RD, but there's no creep wave to really support this. Centaur's Invis is going to quickly run out. There's the Hoof Stomp. They have a Sprout available, and a Burst Strike is going to close in as well. Lots of damage onto this Razor. Living Armor is going to be burned through almost instantly. The block from the treants is going to be pretty nice, and it'll be enough to get the kill. It's going to be Baga to secure first blood over on mid. A much desired kill for the Sand King. Going to give him level 3, which means level 2 Sandstorm, which means much easier jungle farming.
Yeah, from now on he can go into the jungle. Like, this is the first blood, that's why it's always like such a tasty link. Gold change here, for example. In the end, I wasn't sure why the Sand King, for example, was so early on his Burst Strike, because he should have waited, in my opinion, till like the full duration of the Sprout is through and then stun, just in case, because that Razor, he didn't die like instantly. He was still alive for a long time. I was like, oh, maybe with the casket he is gonna survive. I mean, it wasn't enough in the end, so everything's fine. They got the first blood, but yeah, it wasn't perfect chained.
Yeah, it wasn't perfectly chained, but at the same time, I think the Sand King's objective there was to prevent the Razor from getting the static link off, which would have meant the Razor would have had more survivability in the end. So guaranteeing the chain stun is more important than making sure he's like actually disabled, if that makes any sense. You gotta make the Razor stunned, not just disabled, because you have to protect yourself against static link. That's what I want to say.
Yep, and top we have a little battle like for stacking or not stacking. That's the funny part. Like Baga, he tried to farm that stack, actually stack it one more time. But to be honest, I don't know why would you do that. Why would you stack this? Why would you even farm it if there's a Legion Commander around who's gonna get experience on that? Either way, at the moment, I have to say, like, Pain Gaming is dishing out quite some damage here and there, and the Living Armor is doing a great job. Like those instances, for example, on the Terror Plate, it's definitely helping, so he doesn't need to chew through more regeneration, because in fact he's out of it. He has nothing left. There's nothing left. No tangos, no nothing. Just the level 1 now, or level 2 actually, Voodoo Restoration, and of course the Living Armor. So it's really this 4 protect 1 sort of thing we saw earlier already on the Brazilian teams.
Yeah, and crucially, the Terrorblade isn't being pressured really at all from the Pain Gaming side. This is something that can and will probably bite them in the ass later on, as Terrorblade with a whole bunch of farm is an incredibly dangerous hero, and at the same time the other two supports, who are mostly just chilling on the bottom lane, have been pulling away and happily gaining experience, and Centaur isn't able to mess with them at all. So once he gets level 6, then the door opens up for a couple more aggression attempts, but until then, the Terrorblade is pretty much sitting pretty down on this bottom lane, and Pain, they're going to try to take this late with the Faceless Void, who is capable of, 100 to 0ing the Terrorblade within the likes of the Chronosphere, but Terrorblade has a lot of armor, and Faceless Void is purely physical, or mostly physical. So killing him off within the duration of the Chronosphere is really tough without a substantial amount of support from a Scarith Mage or an Epicenter.
Yep, absolutely. And by the way, I just noticed that like the tooltip of, say it here, the Moment of Courage is still like just the script tooltip. They still didn't like sort of, I don't know, update it to something proper. If you have the chance to actually mouse over it.
For Moment of Courage? What are they going to change it to? What's wrong?
No, it's like when you have it as a buff. Oh, look, but they go for him, and that's an easy kill. They even have a Burst Strike, just in case. Baga actually uses this one, but yeah, Nature's Prophet was faster. Kill secured for him.
Yeah, good job, Nature's Prophet, contributing so much to the kill of the Legion. It's going to be a very nice kill for Pain, especially since, again, Sand King was involved in that, and he's so very close to his Blink Dagger very early on in the game, but killing off the Legion, as nice as it is, isn't really the objective that Pain should have in their mind. It's killing off this Terrorblade, go for the bottom lane, which is currently being demolished by the Metamorphosis, currently level 3. So Pain, they're going to have a Sand King with Blink Dagger very soon. it should be faster if he wasn't farming this very dangerous camp as you mentioned before, but he will have it, and that's the crucial part. It's going to buy Pain a little bit more space that Centaur can get his, and then once both of those strength heroes get their blink daggers, then K-Stars are going to have to be super careful, otherwise they're just going to get blinked upon by everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it comes down to what we already said in the draft. Like, Keats, they're gonna be focused more on the objectives, like pushing them and preserving their own, while Pain, they want to make something happening, obviously. And, well, the Sand King is definitely on the way. 1,900 at the moment, a tiny bit more he's gonna get. Oh, actually, never mind that. He's gonna get that neutral, even stolen. But, yeah, in 300 gold, we have the first Blink Dagger then on the way, and that's, yeah, important.
It's the price you pay when you're a Sand King versus a Legion Commander and you're trying to kill off jungle camps that are close to the Legion Commander. Overwhelming odds hurts a lot if you are dealing with a whole bunch of stacks. Fortunately for the Sand King, there was only one dude there. I could very easily see Sand King getting like 100 to 0'd if he was trying to Sandstorm with 3-4 stacks of hard creeps there. But Baga is going to slowly work towards that and taking a look at all the other heroes from Pain to see who can actually help out the Sand King once he gets his blink. Scarith is not level 6 yet. He's actually quite a ways away until he gets to that point. The Chronosphere was already used once, and it's going to be up again by the time they have the Blink Dagger up. And Naked Prophet is going for a very intelligence-heavy build. He's going to be able to fight very early and very often, hitting for more than 100 a pop this early on in the game with the Power Tread's attack speed. He's doing quite a bit of damage. As expected, Pain are going to be geared up to play an aggressive one, and they should be able to get something happening off of the Sand King, and if they don't, then it's just going to be Keystars taking the late game, as we said before.
Yeah, the Sand King, well, he's done pretty much after this camp. That's it. Like, the runes at the moment, they go both to Keith's side, and I have to see, like, when Pain is actually making the first step towards, like, objectives. I mean, whatever they do at the moment on the towers, for example, if they don't fully commit to it, it's gonna be healed up again. That's what you always have to keep in mind if you play against a Dream Protector. And the funny part about it is that, like, Dream Protector hasn't been picked that often in 6.81. Because he kind of was outdated at that point, and now, well, like, I'm not sure if Pain is kind of used to the fact that, you know, doing here and there some chip damage, it doesn't bring you anything unless you really fully commit to a tower.
Yeah, it kind of has to, it forces you to change the way you play. They're going to Stampede, I don't really know why.
That was, no, because he used the reflection, he was slowed and he was just like, I'm not going to get the Metamorphosis damage, and that's pretty much all about it. So just a random Stampede coming along.
Yeah, definitely not worth it. If you're going to keep yourself safe versus Terrorblade, you wait until the Metamorphosis is out, and then once Metamorphosis is up and Reflection is up, then you run away. Otherwise, it's pretty pointless. It's not the largest cooldown in the world, but it is going to be a pretty nice warning sign for K-Stars that says, hey, we have Stampede. Eventually, you should be a little bit cautious to that fact. Sand King is going to rotate down towards the bottom
look,
right.
top, there's the Chronosphere. Easy one again. Nature's Prophet. Kill secured, but I think I want to rotate in here, but there's another time walk out, and that's probably the longest cast ever, but still. It's a 4-0. As you already said, yeah, Terrorblade died as well.
At the same time where they're going to drop a Chronosphere on that Legion Commander, get Scarith Mage a little bit more experience. They went for a Burst Strike Epicenter on the Terrorblade, and he was unable to Sunder, just got bursted down too much by the Double Edge and Hoof Stomp combination after the Epicenter. So another 2 kills going the way of Pain, and getting the kill on the Terrorblade, so important, as I said before. He is going to get a nice item in the drums to help him survive that later on, but certainly it's not going to be enough to withstand the burst damage of both the Centaur and the Sand King. And the Centaur, speaking of, has a Blink Dagger available to him whenever he wants to pick that one up. Baga is once again holding on to Smoke, doesn't have it on cooldown yet, but he's going to look to make something happen as well. So Pain Gaming, I expect them to just be constantly rotating, never in the lane for too long. King RD actually hasn't teleported out, which is kind of weird, yet he has still 202 because of Wrath of Nature being a pretty good skill. But I expect him to rotate out as well when they need him to.
Yep, and I don't know, like, he's really going for that Blade Mail build. I hate it so much by now. Like, there's just a few games where I actually see this being of use. Like, the Blade Mail build, I'm not sure if that's really gonna... Well,
I think in this game, the Blade Mail build is definitely the correct way to go. The point of it, the build, is so that you could have a lot of cheap, cost-effective stats so that you can fight early. And because they do have the Blink Daggers up, because it's 13 minutes into the game and they're facing down a superior late game, they want to be fighting early. So they have to play the builds correctly, and so far it seems like they are. So I think this game, it's appropriate.
Yeah, but overall, like, I like the stats heavy build, but from those nulls or bracer spam, whatever is coming out, like, I really like when they go for something else. But let's see, Terrorblade farming in the jungle, losing quite some HP on it. Oh, and now he knows they have vision, but oh, there's the stun. There is everything on him, so he's falling another time, but there's the Razor coming in, joining the fun, and this is a ton of damage. Net is not gonna make it, and with that follow-up stun here on Kran, with the Death Ward, he's gonna go down as well. So at least they get the first time their revenge. Now Baga, he's just gonna blink out without any problem.
Yeah, going pretty deep, didn't expect the Razor, I think, to rotate in. They did get a Terrorblade kill, and that kind of makes it kind of worth it for Pain, as killing off the Terrorblade, slowing him down is going to be of the utmost importance. They are gearing up for potentially a little bit more aggression up towards top, where they have a Blink, Forward, Chronosphere, and Epicenter. Baga's just chilling. I don't know what are you doing, Baga? There's the Burst Strike forward. Sandstorm is going to get the kill on the Legion Commander. That was really hella slow, but hell, they get him in the end. 40R is going to back off as the Terrorblade does come in. Can't really do anything versus these two heroes. And at the same time, over on mid lane, it's going to be a kill for the Centaur. So even more kills going the way of Pain. Centaur, I think, just cleaned up the mid lane pretty much by himself.
Yeah, I didn't really understand what happened there. Like, while we were watching top, like, two of them died in mid, but I don't even see the reason. That was just the Centaur.
Centaur is pretty strong. I mean, you have to assume it was a two-man hoof stomp, two-man double edge, and that's 800 magic damage with the double edge alone. That's pretty insane, and, well, they have so many kills down. K-Stars are unable to mount any sort of defense over on the mid lane. They're going to go for a push. Nature's Prophet Treants on the front. Overwhelming Odds is going to crush their HP pools. Tavo has a duel available. He's going to catch Ned. Don't let them catch Ned. Oh, he's going to get silenced. So Legion Commander is going to keep charging forward, but the attack is going to stop as the tower is going to survive and going to slowly get healed. It could be worse, though, for Pain, as they are going to go for top lane. Burst Strike onto the Terrorblade. He is wielding the Sunder. Nature's Prophet, where is he? You need to give this Terrorblade a wide berth, otherwise you do get sundered. Looks like nothing's going to happen up top to lead to a kill, but mid lane, the push is continuing. Fortification is up for Pain, and they have green text over onto the side. Has his Blink Dagger in a little while, so he's going to want to initiate on this one, but he does know that he's going into a duel. At the same time, top lane, they're going to reinitiate onto this Terrorblade. Still has a Sunder available. Baga is going to jump in, but there's the Sunder onto King RD. He doesn't have Metamorphosis, though, so he can't really follow up, and now they're going to all be forced to back away. Pretty much Nature's Prophet teleporting in to give the heal to that Terrorblade. Now they're going to go in on mid. Tavo's going to get hit with double edge, amplified by the Ancient Seal. That's going to bring him down, but Green Tech's taking a lot of damage, as well as the Scarith Mage. The Centaur's going to go down, and the Tower's going to go down as well. Probably not worthwhile to go in like that.
Nope, I don't really understand. But oh, top Terrorblade, this time they get him. That's 100% easy going in that Chronosphere. So sticking around there, waiting for the Chronosphere was the right thing to do. But still, tower down, and in the mid, the tower is actually preserved. That's all that matters at the moment. As I said, they have a Dream Protector, so they have to play around it. But still, they have to rotate top now, otherwise the Nature's Prophet is going to make a proper dent in this tower here. We have... it's actually on full HP, but already blinking on it. Is the blink of the Centaur, actually.
Alright, top lane, we're also going to be seeing a defense up towards that side, as Tavo is going to force them all back with Overwhelming Odds. A pretty good counter versus Nature's Prophet's Treants when all things are considered. And they are looking like they're going to prepare for a smoke. Yes, they are. They're going to head down towards the bottom lane, expecting a Terrorblade to be there. And hey, I think they just might be correct, as Terrorblade is going to teleport down there, and he's going to be very unhappy at this upcoming gank. There is a Mystic Flare available. I don't even know if they need it. A Burrow Strike into a Hoof Stomp and Double Edge is probably enough to kill off this Terrorblade, and I think they're probably going to find him.
Yep, he's already waiting. He's even heading towards them. That's the easiest kill of their life. Yep, they just go for it. Not even anything needed but the stuns. The Nature's Prophet coming in just to make sure, but to be honest, this felt like overkill. I mean, having Mystic Flare, a guaranteed full duration Mystic Flare, and 2 stuns, plus all this burst damage, like, I don't see a reason to come in there. Then again, now that he's here, they might as well just push the tower bottom.
Yeah, a kill's a kill, and it is a little bit of overcommitment, as you said. The mana constraint is definitely going to be there. They do have 1 Arcane Boots, and
do you see the wards, by the way, in the jungle? Like, screw everything else. Look at those wards. There's a Sentry Ward of Radiant directly next to 2 parallel Observer Wards. That's hilarious. Like, I mean, putting Observer Wards for block purpose, that's quite interesting. Either way, they're not going to defend bottom. They're not going to do it. This is the first tower.
Yeah, I don't think they can do it. There is a Chronosphere in the area, and 40R I don't think is revealed. 2 K-Stars down on bot, so Maybe they don't know about this Faceless Void, but if they do, then they're certainly going to give this lane a wide berth and let King RD kind of do his work down on bottom. They are pushing up top slightly. Not really too much of anything, though. They're not committing anywhere. They are smoked up with the Witch Doctor Treant, so it is 4 heroes on top, but I don't know if Pain are going to want to defend this. They could just throw everything they have versus the bottom lane tower and be happy with sacrificing tier 2 for tier 2. Probably making those trades against the late game team isn't worth it, so maybe they do want to defend. Yes, they will. They're going to all teleport up there. They have a Chronosphere available, but if you look at Kesar's position, it's pretty damn good. Bardo is off to the side, has Overgrowth available. Centaur, charging forward, wants in. No Stampede used just yet, and now the Treant is invisible. So Pain, if they get jumped on, that's going to be pretty bad for them. This is the only real way that K-Stars have of initiating, is an invisible Overgrowth.
Yeah, but at the moment, I think they do the right thing, because remember, everything they do to Pain objectives is permanent. There's no heal whatsoever on Pain's side. Like, if you defend your towers and you keep them, you really prevent Pain from getting quite a lot of gold. And yeah, so I'm a fan of like going forward, doing some damage, even split push whatsoever, and then just falling back, defending your objectives and healing them up if possible, especially tier 2 towers, etc. But oh, look what King RD is doing. He's in the enemy base, but they were really fast on reaction here. Courier not getting sniped. He also had nothing in there, so would not have been the best one either way. Unfortunately, the Razor's not gonna spot that one observer board. This is really too bad. Now, actually, oh, the Terror Plate.
That sucks.
That sucks. He gets it one hit, and then the sentry ward is dying, so he doesn't have vision on it. But I guess now that they saw it, the supports are coming around soon, I hope.
Right, real quickly, I think you should put your mic a little bit further away, because I'm getting a lot of, like, static popping on your Ps, so...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, hopefully that'll not be too annoying down the line, as it should be easily fixed. Either way, 3-11 and Pain Gaming with a nice little kill score advantage. Experience and gold going their way as well, kind of to be expected. Even though they are down a couple more towers, they've only taken down 1 tower of their own. Hanamitis Faceless Void is going to be incredibly useful moving forward, especially when 40R is holding on to 2,800 Gs. This Faceless Void could go for pretty much whatever item he wants. I think it's just going to be Maelstrom, though. I don't really see any need for anything else.
Yep, absolutely. How's my mic now? Like,
You have to say Pain Gaming.
Wait, where did that courier just die?
Well, I think Nature's Prophet got it. It was deep in the jungle. You had the Observer Ward, one of the Observer Wards that are left for Pain Gaming. They spotted out, and Nature's Prophet must have sniped it. So King RD got what he came for after all. Took him a little while, but a kill on the courier is a kill on the courier, and that's going to give him pretty much his Orchid. Once he clears this Ancient stack, he's going to have it. And then 2 Null Talismans, Blade Mail, and Orchid 20 minutes into the game is pretty impressive.
Yep. But either way, like, I changed my microphone. I hope it's right now. But yeah, just keep me informed if there is anything else. I'm using my old microphone because of technical issues. Like, in other words, everything I fucking own is breaking down for some reason.
It all happens on the same time.
Yeah,
How it
like
works.
this month I lost a monitor, a mouse, and now it's the microphone as well. So
Okay,
since I have no money,
Ned,
that
he's
won't
going to
be-
run into Bardo. Overgrowth is forced out. Razor's coming in from the side. Mystic Player is going to be deployed, but will not connect onto anyone. Force Staff out from the Skywrath Mage, though. Centaur coming in big with that Force Staff. Will kill off the Stream Protector in retaliation as well. 40R going to jump with the Chronosphere blind. Got to throw it blind. It is going to land onto YCS right before he teleports out. This should be a kill. It's going to be a little bit slower, but I don't think he has any way of escaping this Birth Strike in. That's going to be a double kill for
he
the
takes the
Centaur.
Skywrath Mage with him. That's kind of important that they at least got something off this. I mean, he's dying after he's dying, so he doesn't even get experience for it. Still, at least 1 kill. Overall, this was a horrible fight. Not just losing 2 there, also lose a BKB charge, and in the 6.82 changes, BKB is really something valuable, something you want to keep with a lot of charges, or I mean, not charges, but duration. But I don't know.
That was 10 seconds also, and he didn't use it to do any damage. It was purely defensively, and then he ran away. So using a 10-second BKB charge for pure defense is pretty terrible. Bog is going to run straight into Tavo. The Stampede is going to be there. Duel's available as well, but I don't think Tavo's going to get the chance with the Orchid Silence. Epicenter being channeled as well. That's going to be the death of 1. Gambling will teleport out from that situation, but it's another kill going the way of Pain. Epicenter being used, Stampede being used, doesn't really matter. Got a kill. It's extending their lead 4-14 now.
Yep. I mean, Keith, they give away a lot just to bring through that Terror Blade. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do, because they're also running short of like defensive capabilities. Right now, Pain, they're having such a lead that they can even dive towers without a problem, especially with all these flings. Glyph being used now for top. There's actually the Witch Doctor only for defense right now. They need the Legion Commander, especially against the Treants. He's really the best to defend. But yeah, they're trying to pressure the towers more. But silence, Sprout. But now, look, a nice little rainbow.
It's a trap, though. It's a trap. 40R has his Chronosphere in 3, 2, 1. He's going to have it deployed right soon, although he's getting his damage drained, so he doesn't want to use it just yet. K-Stars, they are going to force Pain back. That could have been really messy if they didn't fully commit there, but they do send everyone up to the top lane. It's a lot of commitment, and it does defend the tower. It doesn't get anything else, though, so I don't even know if that was worth it, as they didn't gain anything from that. They just lost a lot.
Look in mid, yeah. They just spent a lot of TPs, and they lose the mid tower for it. That's all they pretty much did. But maybe not, because there's a duel on the net, and I'm not sure if he's gonna win that. Oh, yeah, there we have a winner, but the fight is going wild now. The Chronosphere onto... No, actually the Razor is outside, and he's doing damage with the Death Ward now. Oh, the Void, he has to be careful. The Metamorphosis damage plus the Razor. Unfortunately, the Razor didn't steal any damage, but still, they're gonna get out with the Time Walk and the Blinks. Interesting fight. I mean, that was his first duel. We have to say that. We have to point this out. It's the first damn duel won this game, and now they might actually get a tier 2 tower on it.
Well, it was the first duel won. I also think it was just the first duel used at all, so... Pain, they won't get the initiation when with the Blink Daggers of Centaur, Sand King, and the Time Walk, you want to be initiating every single time. And the fact that they didn't get the initiation, the impact truly shows. Like, opening up with a duel on your softest hero, the Skywrath Mage, is pretty much the worst thing to happen for Pain. They need to be initiating with the Blink Daggers and Force Staffs, because they have 2 Blinks and a Blinking skill on the Faceless Void, and a Force Staff, almost 2 Force Staffs. If they're not initiating, then they're going to get cleaned up, just because the power from K-Stars, when they have initiative, when they have overgrowth, in order to mess with your movement, it's going to be impossible for Pain to take those fights. So it's going to be a little bit of a setback. I mean, they're still definitely in this game and still in the lead, but they have to make sure that that situation doesn't happen. And they're going to now roam around and look for something else. The 10-second BKB charge was also used by the Faceless Void there, so a little bit more of a win than the gold and experience would indicate. They are hunting with the smoke, trying to look for someone. They're not going to find anyone, though.
No, not really. And they also don't have any vision anymore. Like, finally, that Observer Ward died, but they put a new Observer Ward directly in the same place. You're going to see, though, because the camps will be blocked, and therefore they can deward it whenever they want to. Let's see where this one is going, because smoke is out, and yeah, Keith finally, yeah, getting something done in this game. So far it was just Pain with all the aggression, all the initiative. Now we also have some aggressive wards coming out by Treant Protector, which should be the indication for them maybe trying to make something happen, like some gangs of their own.
Yeah, Keystars should always be looking for those opportunities, but it shouldn't be the #1 priority. The priority is getting Terrorblade farm and holding onto a Sacred Relic already. He is going to go for the Naga Siren build on the Terrorblade, and late game that's pretty terrifying. So Pain Gaming, as I said previously, they are on a timer, but they're so far managing their timer pretty well. Now going to go for Roshan. It is going to be not the fastest Roshan in the world, but it is only 2 heroes handling that, so it should be secured soon enough, and Keystars are going to then be facing a push. I'm sure it's going to be over in the mid lane, but they previously pushed this tower, and it's at full HP. Top lane is a little bit banged up, but still at very high amounts of HP as well. Pain Gaming, they're going to have to start taking objectives decisively, not half-assing their pushes.
Yep, I mean the good thing is now we have a Radiance on Keith, like pretty much they got it when Pain went for Roshan. Also of course Blink Dagger on Legion Commander. To be honest, I think he should show a bit more activity in this game. Right now, for example, he has a double damage rune. With this he could blow up Ned. Even if he's dying right after, he's getting something out of it, since he's one of those heroes with stacks, similar to what you have on Silencer and Pudge. So he should really do something, but let's see. Top, we have Baga still sitting there. He wants a kill. He really wants a kill.
He's going to have to use Epicenter if he wants it, and he cannot kill the Razor. He might be able to kill the Treant Protector, although with the living armor already on him, killing that hero is going to be extremely hard, so they're going to need more people here. They have a Nature's Prophet who can teleport in, but even Nature's Prophet has gone for a Blink Dagger. This is a lot of gold that Pain have spent in mobility items in order to get the right initiation. So if they don't, as I said before, it is going to cost them big. Up on top lane, they are potentially stalking this Razor, although really, K-Stars don't have to be super aggressive in how they approach these fights. They could sit back and wait for guaranteed fights where they have the overwhelming odds and, you know, just try to take Pain 5v1 or 4v1 because their Terrorblade is still farming, and Pain, they are really stalling out. This can and probably will cost them down the line.
Yep, also, I don't know, also Void sitting somewhere in the trees. Sure, you're safe there. He was waiting for someone to come, but it's not really happening. Right, since they have a Nature's Prophet, he can really initiate on that Terror Plate, and then, yeah, Nature's Prophet is just coming in. Orchid, even at the end of the Chronosphere, so he can't sunder. It definitely works, but Terror Plate is not showing. He's really just staying in range of towers and everything. So let's see what's happening. At the moment, Legion Commander, another damage, double damage rune, and oh, at the moment, Dream Protector. Oh, what you doing? Sitting next to a Scarab Mage with a gem. Oh well.
That should be a surprise gem. I don't think Keystars saw that one, although with such a deep Observer Ward, it's possible. They're going to jump in for a duel onto Green Text. Very dangerous duel, but they are going to win. Yes, it is a victory for Tava. Now King RD going to get a very nice two-man Sprout. Unfortunately, no follow-up. He's going to try a straight TP out, but the overwhelming odds is going to crush his HP pool. Pain lose two of their most important heroes. They kind of leave the Centaur for dead. I feel like they could have turned around. Now they are going to turn around. In fact, 40R is coming in, has a Time Walk available, but he's getting roughed up by the Terrorblade Illusions, the Mask of Madness Amplification. He's already down to half HP, and Urge Charge is forced out, and Pain, they lose two heroes. This is K-Stars pretty much doing exactly what they want, and Pain doing nothing. So, Pain, they're going to take a very huge defeat there, and more damage for the Legion Commander, double damage, kind of helping out big there.
Yep, and there's also Manta done now on the Terrorblade, so he is starting to get really fat. I mean, with Drums and Aquila, he's having proper stats. With the Manta on top of it, even more. Now the Radiance on all lanes, and he even has PTs. That's definitely worth it. The Dream Protector, I think, yeah, he's gonna find that Bounty Rune. 30 minutes in, and Pain is losing momentum. They looked so confident and whatnot with all their stun combos and Chronosphere, whatnot. Now, not even close anymore. Keith is, yeah, they are losing ground, Pain, and Keith is winning. A lot.
And a lot of it is because Pain spent, again, so much gold on items that don't make you do more damage. They just help your base skills do more damage, and the Blink Daggers. If you don't actually use Blink Daggers, then it's 2,000 gold that you're probably going to hold on to for the rest of the game, but is going to be contributing nothing for your team. So they're going to need to do something with a little bit more of a concrete item set. They are going to go for, once again, the top lane push, but by now it's back up to full HP, as is the mid tier 1. So Keystars, they, I think, have overcome the greatest hurdle in this game, which is the early stages. When the Centaur and Sand can get their blinks, they should have been dying left and right. And they did lose a couple of heroes, but for the most part, they have stabilized. And from here on out, it's going to be Pain really struggling.
Oh, look top. It's a trap. It's a trap. There are 4 heroes surrounding here. There is a Faceless Void, the Centaur, as well as Baga and Net here on the side. Like, this is really dangerous, but I think they have the right feeling, Keith. They know there are tons of heroes missing. Just a Dream Protector will now see the Nature's Prophet, but everyone else is missing. So, smoke, very possible, at least in their mind. But yeah, they're sitting around here and just waiting for someone to go out of that tower. And actually, Legion Commander might be the one. No, he's just saying hello to the Faceless Void.
Yeah, and if you're Pain, you don't really want to just willy-nilly dive a tier 1 blind and try to catch one person with the Chronosphere. At this point, it's just not good enough. So they're going to have to wait until they have numbers advantage, but they are actually going to be able to take this tower. It looks like Keystars, I think they can defend this. They're just choosing not to. They can't actually get anything else anywhere else, so yeah, I don't know. I guess they're just going to let 4DR have this tower. Really nice of Keystars to give that to the Faceless Void.
I'm not quite sure if that's the right decision yet, because so far, like, healing those objectives and whatnot, it is pretty much a good thing to have, because it buys time for your Terrorblade. Then again, now they're starting to like, hey guys, damn it, it's just a tier 1 tower, let them have it, it's too dangerous to defend there with just 1 or 2 people. But instead, they didn't trade it for anything. That's why I criticize here. Like, they didn't really trade. The jungle is not farmed at the same time. They didn't find a kill. They didn't find any objective damage.
Top.
Top.
Now they're going to go on the Razor. He gets his BKB before he gets jumped on, so he's going to last for a little bit longer. Sprout is actually going to miss, and now the Orchid Silence is there. It looks like Razor's actually going to slip away. Here comes the Legion. Has a duel, kind of wants to use it, but not in this scenario. Needs more backup. Either way, it is Razor's BKB forced out one more time, and Pain, they are going to all get away with their lives. Ooh, Tavo.
Oh.
That was
What
so
a blink.
freaking close.
Just an inch short there, and the Razor is gonna survive, getting healed up here by the living armor. But it's quite interesting because Void and Razor popped their BKB. In the end, nobody's gonna get anything, and that was, yeah, exactly what you said already. Nature's Prophet, I don't know, the damage not enough on the Razor with the Void together. I don't like this. I really don't like this. And that was actually a faceless Void, even with, yeah, starting to get a butterfly.
And the 0.82 change is really coming into effect there. If they had the no BKB on the Razor, then he would have taken so much more damage from the bashes. Instead, that didn't exactly happen. So now the crackback is real. Razor, pretty much just sitting on the field, has been healed up almost to full. Between Voodoo Restoration, Press the Attack, as well as the Living Armor, they're going to easily break down this Tier 2 tower, as YCS does have his Aghanim Scepter available. And Pain, they're going to lose even more map control. They're going to try to make a trade on the bottom lane, but this tower is not going to be brought down. Living Armor is going to make sure that it stays up at full. It's a matter of time, I think, before Keystars go for the last tower on the bottom lane, then look towards Roshan, which is going to be respawning, I think, in like 2 minutes. I think that's what the timer said. So it should be happening pretty soon. And Terrorblade, he's sitting on, well, not that much gold anymore. He just spent it. It's going to be a full BKB. This is the time where Keystars are so much more powerful than Pain, and this should be them pressing their advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Keed, I mean, I said it, like, the longer this game goes, the more favor Keed. And at the moment, we're getting in a sort of time frame where I'm like, Keed, I think they take over the game pretty much soon. You don't see that being reflected on the kill score, obviously, but it's coming soon. And looking at the graphs, yeah, Pain had almost 7.5k in net worth advantage. That's going down to 0 pretty soon. In experience, they were over 10k ahead, and then they just dropped fight by fight, and it's down to 4k. Climbing a tiny bit, but that's pretty much it. And the new Roshan, to be honest, in this game I don't even think Roshan have too much of an influence. Like, Aegis doesn't really change anything so far. There's not a hero that really comes back afterwards who is gonna be useful, because most of the heroes, they have like one significant spell, and that's pretty much it. Later then, obviously, for example, the Terrorblade might be interesting, but then again, the Terrorblade is soon 6-slotted anyway.
Yeah, and when you respawn as Terrorblade, you're not metamorphed, so your damage output is severely cut. So that being said, you are dealing with a Chronosphere and an Epicenter on the other end, so it's safe to assume that if you do go for a full-on 5-on-5, someone is going to die, and Aegis is going to get, at the very least, some value. It's not going to rot in your inventory. So Roshan is now up, and Pain Gaming are going to want to take that one, but first they're looking towards top lane. And it looks like they might be able to catch the Razor, but this time he has a Shiva's. There is a Butterfly on the Void, and there is a Sand King, so I think they should be able to kill him off if they fully commit with Epicenter. This is quite a bit of investment. They're going to channel Epicenter, Burst Strike is out, and now they need a Chronosphere, or just the silence. The BKB not being used just yet by YCS, still alive. Now the Chronosphere is going to happen. Doesn't even death to the Razor at the very least. Here comes Tavo from the side, wants to get a duel off, will land it on King RD. Do a lot of damage. Now the Maledict Death Ward. The duel is going to be won, though, by the Nature's Prophet. Here comes the real badass, Terrorblade, but Gambling takes so much damage, he will go down through the Living Armor. The BKB is up on Terrorblade, but it's getting bashed down. Can't really do anything about this. Now going to pop the Man Style as Overgrowth is there, but 40R does time walk out. Everyone from Pain is going to get away, and they get 3 free kills in exchange for absolutely nothing but cooldowns. Huge win from Pain, and they might even get a Roshan off of this as well.
Yeah, this Roshan is the easy one now that they are dead, and this was a horrible fight for Keed. Like, we just talked how they came back into the game, but Pain, like, they were just better on this, like TPing in front of the tower there so that he can chrono. I mean, he must have been aware of the fact that chrono is still up and available, so he could have gone for like the stun, but instantly in the chrono couldn't do anything. The stuns, the casket there, in this situation it would have made the entire fight like a complete different story, but yeah, the TP position, I don't support it. Overall, horrible fight. I don't even know where to start criticizing this fight.
Well, I think you could easily take a look at the graphs and see how much that actually impacted it for Pain. I mean, they were slipping away, and they are still slipping away, but after Roshan and a 3-for-0, they're going to once again reclaim a pretty strong advantage in the Golden Experience. So it's going to be a pretty nice breath of fresh air for Pain. They finally get something to happen. My only concern is that it might be a little bit too late. I mean, it's 37 minutes into the game. Doing stuff like that is what they were supposed to do 15 minutes, 20 minutes, once their Centaur and Sand King picked up their respective Blink Daggers, but they haven't actually done that. And although getting the kills is always going to be nice, at a certain point it's just a little bit too late, and I think we might be at or even past that point.
Yeah, and I don't like that the Witch Doctor is not getting farm. Like, I mean, he has very dominant heroes in his draft. I mean, we have a Legion Commander, a Terrorblade, and a Razor. All of them are farming. Even the Dream Protector is doing here and there something. Like, I really wanted to see something on that Watchdog. Like, yeah, the Arcanum Scepter, I think it's good for this game.
Yeah,
if he's outside the chrono and gets it through.
Yeah, it's ideal for sure, but when you're dealing with Razor, Legion, and Terrorblade, it's hard to say, okay, guys, back off. We need the Witch Doctor to get farmed. So it's understandable to see why Gambling is so poor, and I don't think he's going to be getting much farm down the line unless K-Star has cracked the base of Pain and take huge fights and the Witch Doctor survives. That's the only way I see it actually going down. So it's most likely just going to be
so well with so many things. Like, I mean, we have the Trained Ultimate, we have the Duel holding in place, another slow, plus now the Shivas on the Razor. It's really good. But Legion Commander, oh, he's invisible. And where are they going?
Well,
I don't know what the whole purpose is here, but they want to go on that Void. They don't know that Baga is somewhere here.
That's suicidal. Don't do it, Keystars. That's a terrible idea. He has an Aegis. They are going to hide, very fully hide, and well, they're just wasting their freaking time right now. So I don't really know what the goal is, but they are. Yeah, they're just waiting for someone to come in. But Pain, they don't have all the numbers on the top lane. In fact, they're all spread out across the map. This is not what Pain should be doing right now. They should be grouped up and looking for blood with the Chronosphere, but they're instead waiting, and maybe they're just going to rely fully onto 40R's Faceless Void late, because a late game Faceless Void is someone who could just tear up the entire team by himself. He is going for a Daedalus. Does he have that completed? He has it mostly completed, just has a Demon Edge left to buy, and he's very close to that. So that's a 6-slotted Void right here. And a 6-slotted Void is pretty damn scary. If they actually do something with it, I'm concerned that Pain are going to get the 6 slots and then sit back.
What's the next item on TV?
Probably Scotty. Does he have anything in his inventory? It should be Scotty. That's generally the standard thing to go for.
Yeah. No, I was thinking the same, but like he saves up a ton of gold, like really a ton of gold. I mean, Scotty is one of those items where you need a ton of components as well. So, well, let's see.
Yeah, Butterfly.
Butterfly. Okay.
I don't think he saw the fact that 40R went for a Daedalus instead of an MKB, but Evasion is certainly going to be useful for the Terrorblade if he is going to get into a duel with the Faceless Void. He still has a Mask of Madness to sell though, Void, so getting an MKB is a possibility down the line. Plus he has a Aegis, so he could
there hasn't been any changes to Evasion in the Chronosphere, right?
You do not get Evasion in the Chronosphere.
Exactly, right. So that remains the same.
No, you do. It doesn't shut it off unless you get... Yes, you can evade in the Chronosphere unless Aghanim Scepter is picked up. So you will die.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that was the change,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's actually, yeah, that's a good thing. I just wanted to make sure if I'm still on my proper 6.82. As I said, I mean, I didn't cast for like the whole September, and I just read through the patch and played it myself a bit, tiny bit here and there. So have to always make sure I'm saying the right thing. But yeah, so in this case, I think it's a nice decision.
No, also on the flip side, 40R, he's wielding Backtrack and the Butterfly, so there's going to be a lot of evasion that Keystars don't really have any answer to, because their MKBs are going to be non-existent in this game for the most part. So they're going to need something to deal with the Faceless Void, and Death Ward is pretty good, but it's definitely not enough. It's only level 2. They're going to try to, Pain Gaming, go for this mid lane tier 2 and try to lure someone in to defend. There is a Treant Protector in the area. Gem check for Pain. They have a gem on the Skywrath Mage, so he is going to potentially reveal this Treant, although he's way too far up to the north. This tower is going to go down. Finally, Pain take this tier 1 mid tower. It took them long enough.
Yeah, but it's not like this tier 1 tower served any purpose. Usually you are like, hey, those tier 1 towers, they're pretty good for contesting Roshan, but I mean, they went for Roshan once undetected, and the second after like a fight that was horrible for Keith, so there was no way we saw any Rosh contests anyway. Rosh is pretty much like a guaranteed dire objective at the moment, so yeah, not much action when it comes to this. Either way, like the items, they're taking shape, and I have to say, like Brazilian teams, they're still in this sort of, how can I describe this? I mean, yesterday we had, oh my god, Legion Commander, you really don't want to be there, but yeah, he's still gonna be disjoining this one, but with the Furion coming in there, okay, never mind.
Did he? Oh, he thought that she ran up. Okay, so continue your point.
Yeah. No, like in the entire tournament we have like a very cautious playstyle, because it was a best of 1 format. So if you were already in the loser bracket, best of 1 format, you have 1 game. If you don't win, you're out. And we have, yeah, we talk about like decent money, like a lot of money actually. But oh, in the mid there's a stun on the Legion Commander. I think he's gonna be just obliterated here. They have everything, even the epicenter. That's a tiny bit too much, but wow, so much commitment even to that Terrorblade illusion.
Even to Dagon on the Sand King, just because I think it would probably be better if he spent his money on anything else, but going for Dagon is fine, I guess. Centaur's going to teleport down bottom. YCS has backup available, and Centaur's actually not that healthy, but there's a Burrow Strike onto YCS. Where is the Mystic Flare? It's going to be used onto Gambling with the amplification. He's going to get blown up so easily. Green Tech is still fighting against YCS, but I don't think there's something that Centaur could win, even with the Crimson Guard. Razor's going to take the tower. Now try TP away. Awfully bold for Sand King right nearby, and now the Sheep Stick is out, and Razor is going to go down. That's a 3-for-1 after all is said and done, and the Faceless Void wasn't even a part of that kill. They just killed off the Razor, who quite frankly got a little bit too greedy and taking down a minor objective in this game, and now the crackback from Pain is going to happen. They are going to try to restore their Centaur back up, and Keystars, though they're pushing up top lane, it's not enough to force Pain back.
By the way, I don't understand this Dagon on the Sand King. Either this is a troll item and Pain is very confident that they're gonna win, or I don't know, it's something new. Either way, oh, in the mid, Dream Protector has been spotted here. There is a gem, and yeah, he's going down. So 4 in summary are going down, which means they can actually, yeah, they can probably take both
bottom
towers.
lane. ODR is going to run straight into the Terrorblade. He does not have a Chronosphere, and he does not want to go up against a BKB target. Now the charge forward from Tavo doesn't have enough time to get the duel onto Green Text because of the Stampede. Oh, luckily for Pain, that could have been pretty dangerous, but the Faceless Void evasion is going to keep himself alive. But yeah, going back to the Dagon, it's pretty terrible. I mean, getting a Dagon this late on anyone is bad. Like, maybe a Nyx Assassin, but...
Oh, he has it, like, for 10 minutes. I mean, it's still late, but
it was his last item, though. It's his newest item. So,
yeah, it
like,
is.
Go for
he didn't
Shiva
have any
instead.
item progress till now, because he bought... What did he buy?
Oh, he's going for an E-Blade! It all makes sense now.
Now, okay, yeah. I don't
know. It's still terrible, but it's more hilarious. And that's
yeah, it is more hilarious, but I still think it's a terrible idea. Because Whale of Discord would have been so much better for this game. I mean, Jesus, you have a Skywrath Mage, you have, like, an Ancient Prophet. Okay, never mind.
You're going to miss on the Bardo, but he's going to get blown up anyway. Overgrowth was not even cast because it was too slow.
Yeah, 2 easy kills, plus a tower on top. There's nothing they can do. Baga top. Well, E-Blade done. Let's see if he's gonna do anything with that E-Blade. I still would have liked to see... I don't know. Get rid of that Dagon, get a Whale of Discord instead, and then for the E-Blade directly, and then if you have that one more slot, sure, go for the Dagon if you have to.
Oh wait, they're setting up for the Terrorblade. He's gonna teleport out though, it's way too late, and now he's back in the bottom lane where Pain are still around. Chronosphere is not available. They could have gotten the Terrorblade if they were a little bit faster on the draw, but unfortunately Baga lost sight. I really wanted to see the Shotgun Sand King combination, but yeah, not going to happen just yet. It's going to be Pain taking down a tier 3 tower on the bottom lane, and still pretty much running the map as they are using their Blink Daggers, finally. All it took was 40R to get 6 slots.
Yep, absolutely. Now, I don't know, we have to look at the crafts again, and Pain is, yeah, they completely recuperated from that. Like, there was a small comeback, like, down to 2k, but ever since, they just, yeah, recovered. 14k is the net worth, and we have 25k on experience. This is just crazy. He, with that one big fight where they just ran into it, they just gave it all away, but oh, Terrorblade, is there Sunder? No! Why didn't he Sunder? Do you know that? I don't know, but now they want to follow that Legion Commander. There is a BKB, just pop for this purpose, but who needs a BKB? Yeah,
Bardo's gonna get in there with an Overgrowth. Now the damage being stolen by Faceless Void. Death Ward is on the floor by Gambling, but they're gonna disengage pretty cleanly. King RD is still pretty low, but they trap YCS in the trees. Bardo still there with the Leech Seed, is going to put some pretty serious damage onto Nature's Prophet, but he will survive. Actually, Nature's Prophet holding an MKB. I did not notice that pickup before. They're gonna reinitiate. There's a Burst Strike and everything else onto Gambling. He's down very quickly. Actually, no, the Ghost Scepter buying him a little bit more time because of the shotgun. Now YCS is being focused. 40R wants in. Does not have the Aegis anymore. Actually timed out. Everyone on Pain so very damaged, and it should be them backing out. And it will be them backing out, yes, but they still take 3 kills up on top, and well, they're actually starting to kick into gear. It only took them like 30 minutes later, but hell, they got to it eventually.
Yeah, it's actually quite insane. how much damage Pain endured here, still without any losses. That was the advantage. Like, under normal circumstances, if you would just equalize the experience and gold craft, like, this fight might have been, like, turned around. But yeah, with this advantage and a Terrorblade, I still don't understand why he didn't Sunder, because he didn't. He had Sunder, he had 2 heroes in range, but I think he right-clicked accidentally the Nature's Prophet. Like, he was moving 1 step forward and then right-clicking him instead of Sundering him. So, to be honest, I think this might have been just an accidental, yeah, right-click the hero, and that cost you the time of the Sunder. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but either way, the Terrorblade is just not working out. We're looking at a 50 minutes game, and Pain is just farming away, and the fights are getting better and better. Plus, Roshan is now also secured right after they, yeah, had that good fight. In the mid, we have a tower. Top, we still have a tower, so they have to go for 2 more objectives in those 2 lanes. If they want to go after Roshan high ground, then bottom is of course lane their choice.
And now an Aegis on 40 yard. This is going to be the time for Pain to make something happen. He picked up the Aegis as well as an MKB, so going for the Terrorblade now is going to be even more feasible for Pain Gaming, assuming they actually catch him off guard, which so far hasn't necessarily been the case. They are trying to buy a little bit of pressure up on top lane, but with Radiant's Terrorblade, it's really hard to outsplit push him, and Baga's potentially in a little bit of trouble actually, as he is going to be in between a rock and a hard place. They're going to try to set up for the Terrorblade. Burrow Strike is out. Where's the shotgun combination? Epicenter is there with the Hex. This is going to be the death of the Terrorblade. Yeah, and here comes Razor, a little bit too late to the party. Is going to pop Eye of the Storm, but is he going to catch anyone? Everyone's going to blink away. King RD stuck in the tree. He's going to sprout himself, but there's no one to blink in except for Tavo. He's not going to get in range. Now they have vision plus overgrowth. Can they see him? He's still fine. Now the Death Ward, they see him. He's dead. Teleport, maybe. No, duel is going to be won. Tavo is going to get the retaliation kill, but now they have to worry about the bottom lane because everyone else is there. Where's the Faceless Void? He's over on mid for some reason. I don't know why.
He's
going for these
He's joining the party here. He's already coming in. Chronosphere, everything's ready, so they have the perfect setup. And let's see. I mean, oh, it's a nice little casket, but this Razor also never managing to get any damage for player. Crimson God on, that means they want to fight. And there's the Chronosphere. Look at it. Even though there is the BKB on, they still gonna probably get that kill. Yeah, there we have it. The Witch Dog is going down. The Razor still somehow alive for the Trine. Has to pay for it. So it's a 2-man defense at the moment. 4 versus 2. There is another slow. That Legion Commander not even having duel at the moment. Net just holding them back with every damage over time he got. But they jumped the Razor and... Ouch.
Shotgun.
Double
barrel Sand King. 40R still just chilling away and hitting the creeps. And now this duel is going to happen. Baga is attempting to force staff out. He's going to most likely lose this duel, but Legion Commander is going to lose in the end. No, Baga wins the duel, in fact. 18 damage to him. Now the permabash onto YCS. Instant buyback from Legion Commander, but what can she do about this? She's going to get the overwhelming odds, and here comes the Terrorblade. Chronosphere, is it active? Not for another 30 seconds. Screen texting it slowed down by the new Eye of Scotty from the Terrorblade, but everyone else from Pain should be fine. Just sacrifice the Centaur or force staff him out. Now the ethereal form, and they can't even kill him. It's going to be respawn from the Terrorblade. Treant Protector's back up soon enough, but Pain, they take the entire set of Raxes. They don't lose that much at all. It's only the Nature Prophet who died up on top lane. They still even have their Aegis, so Pain, they could go for even more off of this. Should be a tier 2 tower at least.
They should, yeah. Like, you know, I don't know if you saw it. I really tried to figure it out, but there was like too much like bzzz going on Razor's head with his ultimate. But did he actually? Oh, look at this in the mid. The Terrorblade is just going ham at the moment on the Skyrift Mage. That's a gem on the deck, but oh, the Faceless Void fighting for it. But he got the right Terrorblade. He won't have enough time to Sunder because Chronosphere too long, just too long. And there were also no help in the background because the items are also missing on those supports.
They're going to reinitiate over on mid lane. Gambling's going to take a very quick fall. Now they're going to try to go for Bardo. Duel is out from Tavo. They might win this duel, although it's going to be close. It's more damage going for Faceless Void. That's GG. That's like the 3rd consecutive lost duel for the Legion, and that's just too much.
That's like 3 godlike streaks for Pain Gaming here at the moment. Like, if they would have had a proper turn back fight, like somehow coming back, one fight, a complete team wipe on Pain, we would have seen like a 10k swing, 12k swing, something like that in experience and gold. I don't know, but either way, it never came to this point. It just didn't work out. In the end, the Legion Commander was even feeding damage to the enemy team, so it's a best of 3. They tried, but Pain Gaming still the favorite. Keat is a surprise team in my opinion. Pain still the old guys. They showed that they have the experience to get it through. Still, they have to win one more to get further here into the grand final. and that's something that will come next. Either way, my name is HeflaTV, and I'm confused at the moment because I'm trying to fix something else. Mike was with me, and we are back in hopefully just some minutes instead of like an hour delay.
Don't say
So
that.
we are back.
It's gonna take forever. Bye, guys.